destroyed. I lost everything, including me not even being able to be around my kids, which is why at the establishment where I was at, me and my wife were separated, and we were separated for about, I would say, a year and a half, and so I've always been in their lives, and so, a year and a half, that was a separation, them being somewhere living with a friend of hers, and I couldn't take it, and so, we had a conversation, and we decided to meet up at Benefields, which I'm sure all of you know where Benefields is. If you don't, it's up there off of Old Dixie Highway, and to discuss, us getting back together. And the day before that, I had went and secured us an apartment. I had went and found a job, a great paying job, and I went to secure us an apartment. And just so that you all know, I mean, I no longer live in the county now, but I've lived I was living in the county. Well, I wasn't living in the county during that time when I went to go meet with her, but I had lived in the county before that, in Forest Park, and so because Forest Park, that's an area where you can kind of get anywhere. The airport's right there, and so we decided to kind of go back there. But just to get to kind of what happened, we went to go meet up at Benefields, and once we got inside, we always went up there on Sundays because that was a time where generally no one would be there. So we went there during the daytime. It was actually around this time when we went there. So generally at this time, if you go up there, if you drive by there, there's no cars up there. There may be 1 or 2 cars up there. But this particular Sunday, we went up there. We got there, and we were in there, I would say, maybe about 45 minutes to an hour before people started coming in. And we looked at each other like, this is weird. Long story short, there ended up being a birthday party there. Someone was holding, the people who, they were holding the birthday party there. And so they all came in. By this time, we were sitting at the bar. We had a couple of drinks. And once we left the bar, actually, I had one drink, and I remember saying to her, like, I'm not gonna, drink anymore, because I knew why I went there. I went there for a certain reason. And generally, when we go out, I'm just like y'all. I'm sure, y'all have a drink or 2 or 3 or whatever when you, but this particular time, I went there for my kids, and I knew that. I knew that's why I went there. And so, anyway, we're sitting at the bar, and we leave the bar area, and then we migrate to the pool table area. So once we get to the pool table area, about this time, I would say maybe 40 minutes after we're sitting at the bar, we go to the pool table area, and by this time, it's packed. I mean, it's a lot of people inside of this place. To the point to where, if this is the pool table, we're trying to shoot pool, and people are, they're like around the pool table. And so, if I'm standing here, my wife is standing here, I'm getting ready to shoot to break the balls here, my wife will be standing here, there was a lady standing here, and the individual that's no longer here was standing here. And so he did go in to hug this lady, and he was inebriated, very inebriated. And I'm telling you this, and because we know this now. But so as he went in to give her a hug, he lost his balance, and it was nothing for me to think about. I just, if you put your hand out to, to kind of keep someone from falling, to break a fall, that's the only thing that happened. That's it. And I stuck my hand out here to, to keep him from falling. And so after that, he decided to go and leave the area and get 4 or 5 more people. And they ended up surrounding me inside of Benefields. So as I stated before, these are people and individuals that made trouble happen, period. I've never been in trouble in my life, as they've already said. My mother and my family, they know my character. They know who I am. They know what I stand for. I was raised by this woman who I love dearly. And Miss Cinnamon, you're right. You know, and this is no discount to my sisters, my dad, to no one. But there is something about a mother. It really is, because the way that she helped me, and you know, they say that, you know, they don't help you until you out of here, and it's true. Even now, she's still helping me. Still, I still need her.
Yes, you do.
But she helped me like I could never ever in my lifetime repay her back, ever. If I won the lottery, I still couldn't do it. And I'm just thankful for her, and she knows it. And you know, there became a point in my time, a time in my life, as I was dealing with this. There was nobody else there but her.
Wow.
No one. When I tell you no one, I mean no one. And so I'm thankful to you, man. I love you so much, and you know I do. She was there every time, just like she's sitting in here now. And so again, and so I'll get back, but this guy, you know, he ended up going to get his friends, and they surrounded me on the inside of this place, and they surrounded me to the point to where they were backing me up. And as they were backing me up, this is a very tight area. There were 4 people in front of me. They were backing me up to the point to where the guy who, again, is not with us anymore, he began to point his finger at me, and he backed me up into another guy that ended up being behind me. And so I was completely surrounded in this situation. And in a situation like that, you just run. You don't think about running. It's a situation to where you just, you know, like, if I stay here, and you don't even think about if I stay here. You just, you know. And so that's what I did. And I ran. And when I ran, they followed me out. And everything that I'm saying here today is nothing that I've already stated in court. I mean, and the reason I'm standing here today, and I know, is because I'm standing on the truth. And I stood on the truth. Even in, you know, my immunity hearing that the judge denied. I ran, they ran out, and they followed me out. And so I went to my car, and I did retrieve my firearm. Legally able to carry a firearm in Clayton County, where I went and got my firearms license. And so as I ran and I went to my car and I got my firearm, my wife is still inside. Because look, once they surround me on the inside, I don't even know where she is, because I'm honed in on what's happening to me right now. So I can't see her, and neither is she on my mind, to be honest with you. And so, but once I went and got my firearm, I never tried to go back inside of the establishment. I actually walked from my vehicle around to my wife's vehicle. And I went and I stood there waiting on her to come out. And so, but she never came out. And that's when one of the bartenders there, and I won't say her name here today, but she came out and she asked me, was everything okay? And from the moment that I took to look away from them who were outside to respond to them, that's when they jumped on me and they attacked me. One of the guys had me in a headlock from behind, choking me. One was punching me. One had me by the waist. And so one was kicking me. And to the point to where, you know, it happened. And even when and I want to be clear on when I say it happened, even when my gun discharged, I never knew this individual had been shot. I never saw him fall to the ground. I never saw any of that. And the reason that I didn't is because the guy that was choking me, all of this is happening simultaneously. While I'm getting punched, I'm getting kicked. And so once my firearm discharges, the guy that had me from behind and had me in a chokehold, he lifted me up off my feet and pulled me away. And so I was able to get away from him. And once I got away from him, I ran. Still ran. I was still running. And so as I ran, I looked back. I could see the muzzle flash from a firearm, and then that's when they were shooting at me. So now we know that they had firearms inside of the bar. I think it's legal now, but at that time it wasn't. It was illegal. None of these men, still to this day, never faced any charges. They're still walking around. They get to move on with their lives, which is an injustice in itself. I was facing, I don't know if you all know, but I was facing 55 years in prison behind this with all of the charges. I remember there's so much I could tell you guys. Even being able to bond out, they even made that difficult. Being able to legally bond out, if I can, I'll go into that. We ended up going to my bond hearing, and by this time Molly Davis, he came on as my attorney. He held my bond hearing, and so that was done, and I was able to actually bond out. And so with those charges, you know, we generally don't have the cash sitting around, but you know, thanks to my father, my dad, who I love dearly, you know, I was able to property bond out, and so that's how I was able to get out of jail. So once that happened, but the property that my father had is not in Atlanta, or it's not in this county. It's in a county it's not down in Vidalia, Georgia. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but but in order for him to use his property, he has to go to the sheriff there in the county so that the sheriff can sign off so that I can bond out of jail. Then it has to be sent back to Atlanta for me to bond out. My dad went to the sheriff down in Vidalia, Georgia, and I don't know, maybe I think it was kind of obvious at some point that some people got on the phone and was talking, and they told him no. The sheriff said, no, we're not going to sign, they had no legal right to not let my dad, you know, use his property. The taxes paid up on it. He's been owning this property for I don't know how long. And so, long story short, though, it took another one of my sisters who is not here today, who I love. I love you, Kawana. I know you weren't able to be here today, you know, just to think outside of the box a little bit. And so she ended up calling the Sheriff's Association of Georgia, I think that's what it's called, and spoke with the head sheriff of all of the sheriffs in Georgia, explained the situation and what was going on, and I think the sheriff ended up saying, you know, oh, what? You know, wait a minute, you know, give me a moment, Miss Murray, you know, I'll call you back. So he called down, he had to call down to Vidalia, Georgia, and tell the sheriff down in Vidalia, Georgia to do, so it's everywhere, you know,
yes,
this stuff is, you know, this stuff is everywhere, and, you know, but these are the things that people don't really know, you know, so you have to be here to hear stuff like this, but, you know, it's just, you know, it's been tough, you know, but I'm so thankful, I'm so thankful, and, you know, I'm thankful for everybody in this room, anybody who, whether you didn't give anything or you just, with your presence, even your presence here now, you know, I'm thankful for that y'all took the time out of your day, your evening to come out and to be with me on this evening and to, you know, to be with me. I love you all for doing that. And, you know, I am in the process of still, you know, rebuilding my life. You know, I said, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, very, very honest with you guys. I said, you know, after, you know, this situation and what had happened, I said, man, I don't think I could ever return back to that county.
Thank you, Jesus.
Under any circumstances whatsoever. But this day is a reason to come back. So it truly is, and if not for this reason or anything important as this, people in the community that live out here that I know that supported me, I don't know if I would ever return here, but I hope that, you know, you guys would understand that. I know that you guys still live here, but I expected so much, even from, you know, well, I won't say I expected, just from, you know, police and law enforcement in general. You know, once and when all of this stuff was going on, you know, I got a chance to really see, you know, as far as the black police officers, the white police officers, when this kind of thing is happening, who runs the show, who runs the scene, and who sits back and who's quiet and can't say anything. I saw all of this with my own eyes, and right here in the county, and so that it had a play on my mind, like very strong. And so I wanted to share this with you guys, and I want you guys, you know, to know this, because, you know, it could be you. So it's important for me to, I mean, like I said, it's a lot that I can say to you guys that I want to say, and I know what's going to happen. I'm going to leave from up here and I'm going to be like, man, I forgot to say this. But I'm so thankful, you know, for all of you. Again, I mean, I love you all, and, you know, there's a saying that says, why does bad things happen to good people? And, you know, I thought hard on that, but I know there can only be one reason, and we might not be able to see it all the time, but it's because of the Most High God. You know, He has something better that maybe we can't see with our eyes all the time, you know, because a lot of us are good people. You know, a lot of us aren't out here breaking laws and doing the wrong thing, but that doesn't mean something bad can't hit your life, because it happened to me. And so I was trying to do the great thing and the noble thing, and as a man, you know, and bring my kids and my family back together under the same roof. And it wasn't even a situation, and I'll share this, to where me and my wife was, you know, we were trying to, you know, do, like, it was just about bringing the kids and security to the kids, and them being around both parents that they are familiar with, because when they're not around me, I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's coming in or who's going out, or what's happening, and I'm not good with that. That's not who I am. And so that's why I made a decision to go up to this place. And, you know, people ask me all the time, like, well, what was you doing up there? Why was you, you know, you shouldn't be up there. That's not a, you know, like I said, I had gone up there. I had gone up there. We would visit there frequently. We would always go there, you know, for the food. The food was great. Never had any problems with anybody. As a matter of fact, I'd never seen any of these people come into this place. Like I said, this situation was just, you know, a rarity, you know, like. And so, again, I'm thankful. I'm happy to be here. And I love you, Miss Cinnamon.
You always tell me that.
You know I do, because, like,